Bye bye. Bam, 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 bam. Slip. I got sauce too, a bopper. There's something. Oh, sigh. Hey, what up, people? How are you today? We got episode 7. SwiftLang. Ah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. What am I doing? Okay, so I'm going to try and condense this intro more and more. So let's just break it down. Let's do bullet points. Everyone loves bullet points, right? We're here to learn Swift using the Big Nerd Ranch Guide, okay, which is a book. Highly recommend. I make nothing from it. This is only for your benefit, or you can just follow along at my blistering pace. Now, after we learn Swift together, well, yeah, I have an announcement, a bit of an announcement, but after we learn Swift, we'll move into SwiftUI, which I also have purchased a course. I don't know. I'm not sure if it's a book. It's more of a course, I guess. I suppose I have seen it. That's not true. But we'll step through SwiftUI so we can build interfaces for Apple's platforms. And then we will move into a planning phase. Well, I call it planning. More of a visualizing phase. Because what I'd like to do is get an official specification written for the program that I want to create, which would be called MRP Panda. And more on that later, long ways out. But after that, then we're going to go back to more learning, and we're going to cover iOS programming, the Big Nerd Ranch Guide for iOS programming. So deep dive into the language, deep dive into the front end framework for Apple's platforms. We'll do a bit of visualization and brainstorming / finalizing the design of the application itself. Then we'll go into iOS programming specifically. And then we'll just build it. Now, the thing that I did want to tell you guys before I get started today, just so you guys know, don't freak out, okay? Because I will freak out for you, so you don't got to do it. But apparently, Swift 6 is coming. Swift 6 is coming this year, and as far as I can tell, it shouldn't be there. I know they're updating the concurrency story a great deal. Apparently, this is going to change how Swift is written. As I'm saying it out loud, what a bummer. Not a bummer. It's a good thing. It's a very good thing. But the thing is, boy, I'd hate to. I mean, literally, like, by the time we finish, it's entirely possible that. Yeah, well, you know what? Let's just go look because I actually, like I said, now that I'm saying it out loud, I'm concerned. I don't want to waste anybody's time. I certainly don't want to waste my time, right? Learning Swift if a core piece of the paradigm and the syntax or all of the above is going to change. So let's just go check it out. Let's take a few, because frankly, this is how it goes. In the throes of programming, especially when you're using a relatively young, in terms of programming languages, Swift is certainly young. So let's go read about it. So swift.org. If you didn't know about it, now you know about it. The official website, and excuse me. What is it saying? Okay, Swift. No, I want to read about. There's like a blog. There should be a blog. Yeah, blog. I wonder if there is a 2024 annual update. Oh, this just happened. Ecosystem. Oh, sick. Oh my gosh, where to begin? Shoot. What? Bro, I've missed a lot. Okay, hold on, wait. Let's just relax. Everybody, calm down. Okay. You know what? Let me look back. I just want to look for any kind of, maybe not super far, but I just want to see what's been coming out. Maybe let's look back 2 years because that's not going to take long. Damn, Swift was on Windows in 2020? 5.3 was 2020? These are very long release cycles. Wow. God damn. God damn. Okay, sorry. Anyway. Okay, introducing Swift Atomics. What are these? What are those? I'm delighted to announce Swift Atomics of atomic operations. Atomic as in acid. For those unfamiliar, acid. Yeah. So for those that don't know, this is the meaning of this is an acronym, right? Is that an acronym? Acronym, an abbreviation formed by. Okay, yeah. Making sure. Hey, man, look. No, okay. So this is an acronym. It can be used in a lot of domains, but more often you'll hear it used in reference to guarantees and or behaviors that you can expect from relational databases. Yeah, so I mean, basically anything in and around database systems. Come and read through it when you get a chance. This is just on Wikipedia. You can just search ACID database systems. But yeah, atomicity being one component, so that's what made me think about this. But if this is what they're talking about, atomic transactions, then I guess in a functional way, if you know what a stored procedure is, which is just a precompiled big ass onion SQL query with many layers, but that's all a stored procedure is. So yeah, so it's basically giving you guarantees, and you can read through these. But yeah, that's what it speaks to. Okay, so if that's what we got, then because this basically states that if like for example in the ERP space, not all systems are like this, but one of the ERP systems I worked with was like this, and so let me do my let me get my professor on today, and let me show you guys. Let me school y'all one time. Not all systems work like this, but I'll explain the difference. And where I have way too many. Who am I kidding? You can't have too many. Yeah. Okay. So if you can imagine, I thought it would. Oh well, it's not a big deal. Okay, so let's say that these circles here represent the modules that you would normally see in your typical ERP application. ERP, like Sage, Dynamics, Dynamics, SAP. You guys get it, right? NetSuite. You need NetSuiters. But these all have, they're designed to more or less run your entire business on these enterprise systems. So you have your general ledger, then you'd have something like a purchasing module, and that would normally be tied into your payables, So you keep track of what you owe, when you owe it, when stuff accrues, past due report, the whole nine. And then on the other side, stuff like AR, you probably have a sales order module, or maybe you're pulling those in. And then of course, inventory control, and then in my case, our target customer. So, and this is the in a previous life, this is what I got to do. It was quite fun. I really enjoyed it. I mean, you learn a lot when you work for. How the hell do you do a? I just want a regular ass. Okay. When you work for a smaller service company, because you just wear many hats. So anyway, but here's what we did, and kind of our aim for the application that we'll be building, but we'll touch on that later. But yeah, so this would be like a manufacturing module where you can actually, it would give you functionality similar to like a WMS system, like a warehousing system for inventory, barcode scanning, bins, and lot tracking, labels, all that shit. So with ours though, there was a direct integration here. So our plugin, so this was all this here. Not this one. So that was all the main accounting package. So this was a separate application. And then the manufacturing module was our in-house application. Written in the same language, very tightly integrated down to the, our plugin didn't even have standalone inventory tables. So it was integration in the truest sense. Now, why did I say all this stuff? What was I going to tell you guys? Son of a gun. Oh, right. Okay, so the atomicity, yeah. So in the system that we were working with for the vast majority of the time, one of the things that really sucked balls was that this program was a little program called AccountMate, and I'm certain you've never heard of it because I'd never heard of it. And it's we had about 300 to 500 somewhere in there, the user base in terms of organizations. So it's pretty small. It's a niche community. It was a fork of Sage apparently. So if you ever worked with any of the Sage products, you'd probably recognize it, but it doesn't really matter. The point is that every single night, whenever, well, I'm getting ahead of myself. Whenever users were interacting with the system throughout the day, it was a real-time system in the sense that, if they're using inventory and using the system, like they were trained to, it was a real-time system in terms of inventory being reflected, stock levels, stuff like that. However, in some systems, you have this kind of immediate, hold on, get this down here. Okay, so let's look at this one first. Okay, this would be, what is my delete? But yeah, that one. In most systems now, in the modern ones, if you're doing transactions, say in the inventory module, and why can't I write on that? So let's just say you're adding item 1, you're using item 2, all these different transactions that you're cutting, cutting POs, and you are receiving inventory against open POs eventually. And so all of these are transactions that have to roll up to the general ledger at some point. And so the way that most systems work is anytime that you're well, I say that, I don't know. I know that Dynamics, SAP, and NetSuite work this way. I don't know it for a fact in Sage. I would imagine it works like the second method I'm going to show you, but so take that with a grain of salt. But I know they work one of two ways, as do most programs. It's a push-pull, or it's, you know, immediate commit to the GL. So in this case, like normally the more modern programs, in my opinion, they're going to report these transactions in real time to the GL, meaning this happens at 9 in the morning, at 9 a.m. Then at 9 a.m., that transaction, just like it's generated here, we call it a submodule or a subledger. But just as it's generated here, it will also be generated in the general ledger. And if you need to change anything, like if you make amendments to the PO, or rather to the receipt, because a PO is not going to hit the GL, so that's actually bad. Not just the PO itself, but a receipt against the PO would. Anyhow, in this system, like the second that you create the transaction, you could either run a report in your AP module to see that receipt of goods, or you could also, you know, there would be some equivalent and you would be able to see the very same transaction in the GL, right, if you had access. So that's in real time. So it's just happening. And if you need to change something, then you can still change things, but all of the activity is going to be recorded in the general ledger's detail listing, which is just literally just a log file, basically, of all the transactions. Any mistakes, any corrections, anything and everything hitting the GL. And that's how it should be. That's how it should be. That is not how ours was, though. So with ours, you know, this was old technology and just not a great design anyway, because it didn't have to be like this just by virtue of being old, but it was just something they chose to do. So this program used to be written in FoxPro, and before it got a SQL backend, it used to be also like a FoxPro database, if you can believe that. So this program was written for FoxPro initially. Eventually, they added a SQL Server backend, but kept most of the guts of the program itself. Well, as part of that, there was this whole notion of this big push at the end of the night. So instead of reporting up transactions, in real time, it would basically happen either whenever the user wanted to, like you could manually initiate a push, or you could just set a little process on a schedule, and you know, whenever the off hours are, you know, we could schedule it whenever, but it would have to take all of the transactions that, you know, have occurred in all of the submodules. I really wish it would just stay on what I'm using. I thought it used to do that. Maybe not. But anyway, at the end of, you know, 24 hours, we'll just call it that, or at the end of a work day, I should say, not 24 hours, but EOD, then this big data push would, so it would, you know, aggregate all the data across all the modules and then flow up to the GL. Well, that would all be, you know, nice and gravy, except this was extremely error prone because, I mean, where do I start? But, you know, there's basically it boiled down to a shitty type system, or rather a lack of type checking. But in our case, that was really more related to the schema. So it's poor design anyway, but when things worked correctly, even if, like, let's just say all the data is correct, or there's no, there's no corrupt data or anything like that. We don't get some random null value that gets snuck in there. It's going to crash the whole process. So all the data is good, but let's say midway through, midway through, a big storm comes and like knocks all that shit out. Server goes down. You know, everything is dead as a doornail, right? And it has to reboot and all that. Well, if your database, if your DBMS, database management system, can claim that it's ACID compliant, yes, you could call it, you should not have any corruption of data in here. So wherever the process, whatever was happening at the time when the server went down, right? Whatever was going on here at that point, really should have no bearing on whether or not, when you come back, whether or not you have corrupt data records, because everything is either supposed to, you know, validate that it got where it needed to go, all statements involved in a particular, you know, stored procedure, so it would have to do all of those checks. And let's just pretend there's 4 validation tables. There was a lot more than that, but you know, let's say things need to line up. If it goes and tries to check those tables for certain conditions and they're not met, the system is supposed to either complete everything or roll it all back. That's effectively what that means. But it's basically supposed to guard, it's supposed to be guardrails against those kinds of things, right? So a network outage or a power outage, in terms of your data integrity, having an ACID compliant system should hedge against that. Well, we didn't have one. They didn't even know what that was. There was so much, it was crazy. Anyway, the point is, that's what atomicity is. And so in relation to Swift, you know, Swift is not a DBMS, obviously, so we're probably more talking about this in the like over the wire, maybe doing like, or doing any kind of request using any protocol. We will see. But I just wanted to give you all that example just because, I don't know. No, I mean, it's good to understand, but honestly, it's a term that you should be well aware of. If nothing else, just so you're aware of what your DBMS should be able to do for you. Because sometimes, you know, sometimes it can do it, but it might not be like its default config, or maybe some other guy has it on like dev mode and you don't even know, like, you know, so you just want to make sure you're always digging into your tools, not necessarily like, you know, don't fuck shit up, obviously, but a curious mind is a healthy one and a helpful one. So I would say get in there and understand the things that you are tasked with looking over, caring for, or would like to care for someday. Just go understand them. Do it now. Do it now. That is sour power. Baby. Yeah. Okay, so son of a bitch. So, that being said, what stupid glare? What's that? Okay, so that being the case, what is Swift Atomics? Yeah, maybe we'll do this. This is still a learning session, but we're going to get caught up on language news. I'm really feeling that now because I really do feel antsy about not going to feel good until I understand what's really going to pop off. But don't worry, we're not abandoning this at all whatsoever. I just want to make sure that we're wise in the approach. Certainly no reason to rush this kind of thing because you just can't. You can only learn but so much and apply it in a certain amount of time. Now, oh, it's a package that enables let counter managed atomic dispatch queue. Oh gosh, we haven't seen any of this. Wildcard in for wildcard and oh no, we saw some of this. 0 to 999,999. Counter dot about 1. Oh my. So how much packet? Oh, this is for systems programming. Okay, I go out on a limb and say we're nowhere near that. So okay, I thought these were like, I guess they technically are if they're part of the standard lib, but it doesn't seem like they are. Swift service discovery. Swift server. Okay. Swift NIO. I hear about this one a lot, so let's go look at this one. I hear people calling it Neo. I wonder if that's legit. I am delighted to introduce Swift. What is Swift Neo? Programmatic implementation of SSH. Oh. That is, it is a collection of APIs that allow programmers to implement SSH speaking endpoints. Critically, this means it's more like lib SSH2 than open SSH. Swift does not ship production ready client servers, but instead provides the building block. Oh, okay. So this is kind of like maybe not as high level. That's probably better for our case, but kind of like Charm. If you're for all you Golang fans, or if you're looking for a cool project to learn Go check this out. It's really nice. Charm.sh. Charm.sh. So this is a TUI. You ever heard that TUI? Text user interface. Or no, I'm sorry, text. What am I saying? Terminal user interface. TUI. Instead of a GUI, it's TUI. But yeah, this is an open source. Well, it's an actual company. I know that at some point they're going to monetize these services. It's kind of why I know I'm telling you to use it, but you know, you can do your own research. But for a little project, it's totally fine. I just didn't want to build my business on it. But they're really incredible tools, and they're completely free. Don't take my word for it. I mean, their plan may be they're always going to be free. I don't know. I don't know that. I don't know enough about it. I'm just telling you that these are badass little libraries, and they give you a way to build interfaces in Go. I mean, you can see just how cool it is. And they're basically just frameworks and libraries to help you build these super cool little interfaces. But what made me think of them was they have this thing, Gate. So it's kind of the same. So they have a primitive SSH. Yeah, it sounds very similar to what we just read about the Swift Neo. But then they have this one, which is Skate. So this is built on top of Charm. So Skate is a framework, and it's using Charm, which is, I believe, not only the name of the company, but also a library. And this is like the primary framework. But this is really neat. So you can either, like by default, if you go through the options to set this up, it's set up on their cloud, but you can basically have this little object store, and right from the command line, you can just send your files up there. But what's really neat about this is, yeah, personal key value store, sorry, KV. What's really neat about this, you can self-host it, and it's not difficult. I know some, I'm not gonna name names, but no, really, some people, or some projects, I should say. Yeah, they let you self-host, but boy, they make it difficult. And so they don't really, you know what I mean? It's like they're kind of pushing you. They all kind of have their own cloud platforms they like to host on. And that's fine, get your money, I'm just saying. This is not like that. You could set this up in less than 20 minutes, and what's really neat about it is, like I'll give you a good example. I have 3 machines that I use to work with, you know, just on a daily basis. I got 4 now because I got a Mac. Yeah, so I got a Mac, 2 Windows machines, and an Ubuntu web server, or just it's a little box sitting right next to me, a little Ryzen chip. It's a badass little square AMD Ryzen thing. I don't know. I like it a lot. Super cool, super compact. Great for just random dev stuff, but you can put an instance of this on each one of those, and you elect, which of the 4 machines you want to be the primary, and all the rest will just sync off of anything that you send to your KV. So it can become, a really secure way to hold whatever info. I mean, anything you can put in a KV store, so which is a lot. But yeah, it's really nice. Check it out. I had a lot of fun with it. It'll get you a lot of brownie points if no one at the org has seen something so modern, something so flashy. But what I really like about it though is it's very functional, and you can get moving fast and make something useful that you can just keep on using and just keep building it out. So yeah, so go check that out if you like. Otherwise, okay, so we made that correlation, so that's a thing. What does this say? Oh, let's just see diversities. Celebrating Black History Month, Women's History Month. What? Swift, where's the programmatic? Okay, Doc C, so we got that. Yeah. That's really nice. I shouldn't blow that off. This was not always so simple, but you're starting to see it more and more now with Go, with Swift, where you just run the command and it turns that source code into documentation. But obviously that's still not, maybe for a developer, but if you're gonna hand that off as the finished product, you might get some side eyes, so you're gonna have to clean it up anyway. But it is still very helpful. Now, introducing Swift Async. So here, okay, this is really what I was looking for, because I know 6 is gonna be a lot of async type stuff. What is this with? Porting graphing calculator. Oh, this is the most Apple thing I've ever seen. Okay. 2021. Wait, that's old. What in the world? Okay, here we go. Swift Summer of Code. No. Last year, what do we get? 5.9. Dang, that was September. That's crazy, man. And so 5.10 just came out, right? Packages on Swift.org, on Crash. Oh, good. That's good timing. Open API, the open standard we all love, formerly known as Swagger. Okay, right back where we started. Actually, I want to read this. Sounds like we got some Qt integration. Swift is well suited for creators. Adwaita. I have no idea what that is. Adwaita. Oh wow, man, let me. Oh, it's an image? Okay, well. JavaScript spoiled me, I guess. Okay, well that's cool. Wait, so you can cross compile that. So this before. That's cool. I would like to come back to that sometime. But now let's go look at the annual update. Hot dog. Okay. Okay, this was very recent. Okay, good. All right. So in this annual post, the Swift Server Workgroup, SSWG, reflects on the community ecosystem-wide accomplishments and the workgroup's focus area for the year ahead. Sagging. For the first time ever. Oh, they ran it. Yeah. Developer community survey aimed at collecting feedback and information. Where the hell was that? Okay. For example, while the majority of respondents already use Swift concurrency, there remain challenges in some areas with adoption. We also learned that there's a lot of interest in standardizing tooling such as Swift format and SourceKit LSP. Well, yeah. 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 This will be interesting. So we might... Oh, yeah. Oh, my Airbnb. Wow, mostly... Oh, okay. I thought it was going to be something else. Okay. Respondents. While most respondents to this survey self-describe themselves as iOS mobile developers, 58%, a large chunk can be attributed to backend and full-stack developers, 35%. The other kinds of roles respondents describe themselves as were primarily managers, team leaders, but there was a nice amount of fairly low-level programming roles represented, including network, embedded, or distributed system engineers. Okay. The majority, 40%, is already using Swift for hobby projects. 29% are using it in production, professional capacity. What? Oh, okay, sorry. I forget Objective-C exists. Okay, I see. Yeah, that was throwing me off. I'm like, how can only 40% be using Swift? What are you talking about? Okay, so when asked about next year's plans, wait, that's interesting though, because why did they take the Swift survey if they weren't using it when asked about next year's plans with regards to using Swift? 47% intend to use it. Yeah. Okay, Swift language. No. Oh wow. These are softball. I thought this might, yeah. Okay, so continued focus on growing the ecosystem. I need the heart. I need to know what's fucking changing. What do we need to know? Not what do you want us to know? You know what I'm saying? By participating in Google's image river swims. Adoption of structured concurrency. This is stressing me out, bro. I gotta see this. Try not to sneeze. We've seen a lot of progress on the adoption of structured concurrency. Most new libraries are adopting it, and we're working on a guide to help existing libraries adopt it as well. So the weird thing about Swift for me is how they, and maybe it just speaks to, you know, Apple never, you know, for all of their skill and talent that they have, they had never, like Swift was really their first programming language that they tried to, you know, incubate and foster. And obviously it's catching on. But it's just odd to think that a lot of this stuff that you see, like the formatter, the LSP, having that in the standard lib, concurrency, all those things, I'm just really surprised that it took this long to do that, considering something like, you know, Go. But I suppose in 2014, that would have been 7 years into Go, and that would not, because Go was what, 07? So that would not have necessarily been, you know, if Chris Latner's looking at the landscape and saying I know a lot more goes into it than that. I like the guy, I'm a big fan. I'm just saying, naturally, you're going to take inspiration from your peer group, right? So he looks around, maybe it's not, back then, not so normal, not so obvious that a language should have that kind of standard core component of tools that we're going to need, like Go introduced. And now, you know, languages like V, like Rock, like Odin, Zig. A lot of these newer languages are, even Gleam. But, you know, they're bringing Dino. Yeah, Dino. Dino is actually a great example of that, even though it's a runtime, but still. Yeah, so maybe that's why. I don't know, but it worries me just because that's a big. I shouldn't say worries. I'm not worried about it. It's going to be fine, and it's going to get better. My concern is continuing the course before seeing the fallout, because I would rather have content out there that's not immediately dated and old. You know what I mean? Like that'd be a shame. It'd just be a shame. So let's keep reading here. But yeah, you know, I would just kind of expect a little more. This just kind of seems like, oh, hey, we noticed this. Oh, hey, we noticed that. Like, you noticed? You didn't. I was just hoping for a little more planning here. You know what I mean? Like, hey, we noticed that y'all were out of types, so we brought y'all more type. You know, maybe something a little more proactive. I don't know. Fuck, but maybe I'm just spoiled by other Apple handlings, and this just doesn't. It's just not up to par. I just said it. I said it. All right, I said it. I'm not hating on whoever put this together. I'm just saying it does not have that kind of polish, which is surprising to me. So tooling has seen some tremendous improvements in 2023 with the introduction of Swiftly. Swiftly. What is this? Swiftly. A Swift toolchain installer and manager. Written in. Oh, it's kind of like OPAM switch. Okay. Hell, we didn't even learn one version. I don't need more than one. So, okay, so Hummingbird is a web framework. I know that. Like a lightweight one. gRPC. Yeah, okay. We're not going to go look at that. Tooling. Oh, this is what I want to see. Dependabot. What the hell are these? Dependabot. Swift support for... Hell no. That's... People... They're just begging for it. AI, don't take our job. But let's build all this shit and try to automate everything. Actually, it's probably more job security because the shit always breaks anyway. Half that shit wouldn't be necessary if people just stop fucking using bitch ass TypeScript. But okay, all right. So chiseled containers. What is that? That seems. And investigating Ubuntu chiseled containers based on distroless concept and provide very stripped down environments for your applications. No shell, no package manager, smaller attack surface. Okay. Yeah. Ben has already involved for his work. Last year, we saw 7 new packages enter the SSWG incubation process. A tremendous amount of work has been done on these packages shown here, I believe. Swift distributed actors cluster. It just kind of it's crazy to me because all of these things that and what they're claiming, like atomicity and the actor model, eventual consistency, all this stuff all this stuff would play off of the concurrency model. And so I mean this. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I want to see what. I just want to take however bad they say it's going to be and like multiply it by 10, and then that's going to be our preparation for Swift 6. We'll be looking at the impact of strict concurrency checking across the server ecosystem. We're planning to enable strict checking on every incubated package and make each package compile warning free. What the hell does that mean? Adoption of structured concurrency has been going strong, but the journey isn't finished. In the coming year, we'll be focusing on adopting structured concurrency in even more libraries, with the goal of making Swift Neo an implementation detail. More and more libraries in addition. Plan on working on more guides for developers of libraries. Yeah. In 2023, we've extensively prepared for a standardized HTTP server and middleware. That's great. That's good. The in-progress Hummingbird rewrite is already taking advantage of the new HTTP types. The goal for 2024 is to produce a low-level, general-purpose HTTP server package. Marketing Swift on the server. Marketing Swift on the server is a big focus area for 2024. Yeah, because you can't, I mean, you just wouldn't know otherwise, because, and maybe that was perhaps, on purpose, but you cannot really find a whole lot on it. There just ain't. Well, before like a year ago. So it is clear that they made it a priority. You can definitely tell. You really can't find anything before that outside of, the official WWDCs, but we're looking to create more content for the ecosystem, such as integrated example projects and showcases of existing server-focused projects. In addition, we're looking to connect developers by organizing online user group meetings. Trying to see the return of the server-side.swift conference in 2024. When is that? Buy a ticket. How much is it? Hell no. Why would I go and spend that to go sit with a bunch of oily nerds? Boy, man. Okay, all right, let's go. No offense. I'm an oily nerd myself. I'm just saying. I mean, we all got to get together and like oil it up. Oh shoot. Okay. All right. So I mean, it doesn't really tell me anything. This will break, that will break. It just said they're going to look into it. So maybe this will tell us more. Enabling complete concurrency checking. Data race safety in the Swift 6 language mode is designed for incremental migration. You can address data race safety issues in your projects module by module. Oh, and you can enable the compiler's actor isolation and sendable checking as warnings in the Swift 5 language mode, allowing you to assess your progress toward eliminating data races before turning on complete data race safety checking. Complete data race safety checking can be enabled as warnings in the Swift 5 language mode. Okay. Using the Swift compiler to enable concurrency checking. Swift C. Well, I mean, the fact that they're calling it incremental at all is good. That makes me feel a lot better. If that's so, it's already there. It's just not on by default. So technically, I could just flip that bad boy on, and then we could just start dealing with it. So, okay. Then I don't. Maybe that we'll keep reading just in case. But to enable set strict concurrency checking. Yeah, I never liked that. I mean, why do I have to? Why am I setting it in my IDE and the compiler? Like, why are those of all things? Like, why are those not? Why is one not aware of the other in a dedicated IDE? That's crazy to me, but I digress. So maybe, oh wait, I didn't mean to go there. Oh yeah, that was the end of it. Okay. Dare I say much ado about, I don't want to say nothing, but this is shit we're gonna have to learn anyway. I thought it was changing some kind of pattern, you know, core to like something we would cover in the book. Dang, and I was really getting hyped up for I was really getting hyped up about the V language. You guys heard about that? Heard about the V language? So, oh man. Well, okay. For you know what, I've been showing y'all some good tools, so let me show you another one. Okay, this is another free one, totally free. Although if you can afford it, you should donate to these guys because they're doing God's work. All right, but well, I say that, but don't get caught up on the website name. I have no idea why they called it this. No idea. Exorcism.org. But I trust me, it's I mean, it's about programming. But yeah, exorcism.org. Yeah. Your guess is as good as mine, but it's free and it's pretty incredible. So to varying degrees, you can learn up to, I don't know how many are there. I think there's like 70. Come on, bro. Yeah, so look at all these. 70, yep. V, C, JavaScript, 8th. What the hell is 8th? I know what it is because I looked it up, but yeah. You actually, it's one of the few programming languages still you gotta pay for it. It's not open source. And you gotta buy a license to use it, like back in the day. Yeah, OCaml, NAM, Reason, Awk, ABAT. I don't know what that is, but I mean, look at this. Pretty wild, right? Now, some of these have, like you see where these have a learning mode and some do not. The ones with the learning mode are gonna be a lot more interactive. Like you can download the course. Like I said, it's all free and they'll check your code, they'll grade you, and it's awesome. I mean, to me, this is like the same quality, if not better, that you're gonna get if you go to like Codecademy and go pay for that, or if you go to whatever the fuck else, boot.dev. You know, like this is These guys, you can watch. I thought his face was here. Well, whatever. Come to the website, exorcism.org. The guys that started this website, they're a little. They almost seem like pissed off, but they also, you can tell they're passionate about programming. It's kind of weird, but I think that's just their, that's just their disposition. But super smart dudes, very expressive, and they'll explain it, maybe even more than you wanted, but you won't ever feel like you're like, huh? So you can get all the details, and then if anything, just come back, listen to it later. But yeah, I would highly encourage you to come and check this out. I need to change the title of this stream actually, because I'm gonna have to. Oh no, she hadn't left yet. Well, okay, let's just go to the book. Let's go to the book. Let's go to the book. We can do it. We can do it. I'm just gonna. I might just have to start a third stream and to do V, because to do V, it's not a drug, but it sounds like it. But yeah, it looks incredible. Truly. Not sure why it got, well, I do know why, but I was gonna say I'm not sure why it got the level of hate that it did, but I know why, because people are ignorant and they just propagate lies and they don't care to stop and ask questions or anything like that. It's a hot story. Hey, let's all make videos about it. Just circle jerk each other. Fuck if it's true or not. If people click, that's it, right? Weak ass shit. Can't stand that. Especially, it needs to scale, like just like everything else needs to scale. If somebody is putting the amount of work in that goes into creating a language, and you can't put in 5 minutes to do your due diligence and get an accurate story, it's weak shit, bro. Can't respect it. Okay, so we were on, what would we have been on? I'm gonna assume arrays, or no? You're gonna make me make a new one, yeah? Create a new Mac OS playground called optionals. Okay. Create a new one. Uh-oh. File, oops, file, new playground. Mac OS blank. Call it what? Optionals. Watch them hose. Watch them hose. Da-dum-dum. Okay. But we do need to get. Let me get rid of. All right. You a little bit wider. No, water. And I'm gonna leave you hanging because I gotta pee. Boy, do I ever. Look at this. My third one today. And it's early 2:30. Man, my bladder though. Hold on. Hold on. Swiftlands. Now get on sauce. I got sauce too. Boom, 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 boom. Slip. Sauce too. Hey, boppery. Okay, I needed to grab. Yeah. And I wanna do. So we get 3 of those. 1, 2, 3. Fourth one. Oh, today's Sunday. Shit. Oh, man. Jesus. Yeah. Create a new macOS playground. Oh, yeah, we did that. There is both a long form syntax and a shorter, more convenient syntax for declaring and using an optional. Yeah, they just went right in. They didn't even say what the hell it was. In practice, developers exclusively use shorthand syntax. Declare your first optional instance. What are we doing? Var error code. Oh, okay, we just saw that. Good context. Una momenta. All right. And let my whole world is coming along. It sounded like that Nelly song. Oh, I know you. I need you. Nelly, I. Oh, man. Y'all know nothing about that shit. Bunch of Zoomers. Okay. All right. In Vim mode, I'm gonna go J. I'm gonna go K to go up, double D to delete the line. I'm gonna go I to insert mode. Var error code string. Optional. I swear I'm gonna quit cutting up, but I'm curious because I heard them say it. That VS Code should have comparable. Whatever, fuck it. We'll do that later. Because we don't have playgrounds in VS Code. Okay, so optional what? Optional what? Optional pokey. And it's an option. So string or 404. Oh. That's cool. I think we did read about that a little yesterday. 404. Command Shift Enter. What did I do? Oh, I changed my tab button. Right. My bad. Tab. This one. Command. That one. How about that? All right. Okay, 404. Optional pokey string indicates that your variable is of type optional. And the angle bracket syntax, like in the declaration of an array, indicates that it is designed to hold a value of the string type. So either it is a string that's defined, or, okay. So like in the declaration of an array, indicates that it is designed to hold a value of the string type. This means your optional will contain either an instance of string or the value nil. Oh, I think I'm mixing up V and, okay, so there is nil. Okay, so this means your optional will contain either an instance of a string or the value nil. This means your optional will contain, okay. Makes sense. The second line, error code string equal optional 404, creates an instance of the optional type and stores the string 404 in it. As with array and other container types, there is a shorthand syntax for optionals that is more stylish. Update your playground to use it. What is stylish? Show me style. What did they? Oh. Capital A to insert at the end of the line. Error code string. String. It's weird looking. I guess it makes sense, like string or like in a question form. You just got to make sense of it however you can. This, where did I go? Update your playground. Okay, we did that. 404, yep. Oh, I don't have to do this. Error code string. Oh, I don't need those because it knows it's an optional. Good old type inference, baby. Okay. This preferred syntax does exactly the same work as before, but it hides some of the details of what is really happening. The question mark in string tells the compiler that you want an optional that will hold a string or nil. A more surprising change has happened on the second line. The constructor syntax optional, parentheses, ... has disappeared. Well, you told me to get rid of it. Now the value of error code string, which remember is of type optional, is assigned to 404, which is a string. Yeah. I mean, you guys probably thought the same, but I assume that's why it allowed you to do that, because it can make that correlation. Normally, assigning a value of one type to a variable of a different type is a type mismatch. What do you mean? It's a string optional. Oh, I guess they're technically, because optional is the type unto itself. Okay, so we're being technical, and we should be. Okay, so normally assigning a value of one type to a variable of a different type is a type mismatch and causes compiler error. Go back. I want the... I think that's better. I don't know, the dyslexia font is not helping my dyslexia. It's making it worse. Hey, give me that yellow paper, baby. Oh, yeah. Maybe... How's that? No. This? No. There's more room here. Yeah, let's do. I guess we can do that for all them oily nerds that watch this at night. I know y'all can't get sunlight, so. Oh shoot. Come at me, bro. Alright, so the second line reads okay. As with array and other container types, there is a shorthand syntax for optionals that wait, we did this. Normally assigning a value. Why is this case different? Okay, that's where we were. We said why. I believe. So optionals are a common feature of Swift code. I'm sure you hear about them a lot. The creators of Swift knew that creating lots of optionals manually would be cumbersome. How do you do it manually? For developers. So they overloaded the assignment operator. To allow an optional on the left-hand side and an instance of the optional's associated type, string in this case, on the right. Yeah. Okay. Overloading means creating an additional implementation of an operator or function. Let's ask the Oracle, because this is one of those things where you hear the term often, and people will be like, "I like overloading," and other people will be like, "Oh, I prefer no." What the fuck is it? How about that? Let's start there, because nobody ever cares to define things, you know. Let's just pull them out of our ass and all pretend we know what they mean, so we don't look stupid. So we don't look stupid, but we choose ignorance, which by virtue of doing so makes us stupid. So that's why you should just go and learn the thing. If you don't know what it fucking means, don't make an assumption. Please stop making assumptions. Oh my gosh, that would drive me fucking nuts. In a past life, training all these little assholes, coming up, training them on how to, you know, because we were handling live production databases. I had to teach these fools, didn't know a lick of SQL or anything about databases to begin with, not to mention computers damn near. But don't make assumptions, for the love of God, especially if you're handling somebody else's data. You want to be blase blah about your data, I wouldn't recommend it, but you can. If you handle someone else's data, goddamn, ask questions. Like what? Come on, P-brain. Okay, so anyway, I want to ask it this. I want to ask it what this means syntactically. The do up. The below sentence is from A. Can you show me of what overloading this case? Yes, knowledge. Oh damn, all the hipsters must be on there telling Dolly to generate 4chan photos. That's why it's so damn slow right now. In programming, overloading refers to the ability to define multiple functions or operators in the same scope. Oh. Right, multiple functions or operators in the same scope. With each having the same name, but different parameters. Oh. So that's like, Well, I don't know if it's the same, but I know it sounds like a Erlang's arity. I think that's what they call it. But we'll ask it. Yeah, I'm curious if that's allows multiple functions to have the same name but differ in their parameter type, parameter count, or both. Overloading based on parameter type. Oh, value int. Value string. Oh, I see. So, okay. So I assume as long as there's, I mean, if the language allows for overloading, then your requirement is just that the combination of the function and the argument needs to be unique, but the name of the function itself can be the same given overloading. Okay. And so that, okay, so you got all that inference all around. Yeah, I can see how that's a pretty gnarly daisy chain there of if this, then that, this, that, this, that. Yeah. Snip, snap, snip, snap. You have any idea? Physical toll that 3 vasectomies I have on a man? And then you didn't want kids. I'll change it back. Snip, snap, snip. I think I love that. The Office episode when Michael and Jan are together and they have that dinner party. It's the best episode. I love this TV. It's like the size of my laptop screen. Oh shit. Okay. So that makes sense to me. Oh, that was the other side. Operator overloading. Okay, what is this doing? Multiply wildcard. A is it? B isn't it? I don't get what's happening right there. Oh, I guess that's whatever you would pass into it. Why does that look so funny though? Oh, because these are actual. Okay. We don't see this. We wouldn't see this. We can just use it. Yeah. Okay, so operator overloading. Operator overloading lets you redefine how existing operators work with specific classes or structures. This can be useful when you want operators to work with custom data types. I see. Wow, so you can go way off the reservation. Okay. Wait, so okay, so struct vector, that's our primitive. Var. Int overloading for vector addition. Overloading the addition operator for vector addition. Static func. Oh, we haven't seen that one. It's static. Static func. Oh, is that it just runs one time? Is that what that is? Static func plus left vector, right vector, return vector. Oh wait, that's the type vector, and we return vector. Left, right. Wait, left.x, right.x, left.y. That's like breaking my brain. I don't understand why that's allowed, but okay. So it's allowed. Okay. Let it happen. So let vector1 equal vector, where x is 1, y is 2. And then again. And then you can add them. Print resulting vector. Well, right, yeah, I don't want to lose sight of it. That's the main thing. Yeah. So it's still maintaining its some level of a unique property so that the compiler knows how to handle it, is what I gleaned from that. Okay, so is this similar to Erlang's, I don't know if that's how you spell it. Ha! I am semi-knowledgeable. Yes, the concept of function overloading in languages like Swift or C++ is somewhat similar to how Erlang handles function definitions based on arity. Yeah, I actually think this is kind of cool, although it looks very esoteric, but it's neat because you can, to me it's just a bit more organized because you can say this is function A1, function A2, function A3, instead of just, I mean, in Swift, you kind of just write it, and then it just needs to be unique. And I guess if it wasn't, you'd get a compiler error, so that's nice. But it's still, just being able to enumerate it, I guess, is I just liked it better. I just like it better. Anytime you can kind of make an index of things, you know, and then that can always just mean something to the business or to the org or to that project, something along those lines. But yeah. All right, so type sensitivity. Oh, the difference. Oh, we don't care about that. We know it's not type safe. It being the beam. So well, no, Erlang has a type system. It's no OCaml, but it has one. So where was I? We went and looked at, oh, overloading. Okay, yeah. Okay, so we get that now. Totally get it. The compiler takes care of the rest, creating the optional instance and putting the assigned string in it. The result is that you have a much more concise and convenient way to create and use optionals. Okay, so surely we won't forget this at the end of the module, because I always do. I mean, this is pretty... Don't get any more straightforward than this. Goddamn. Okay, so when you need to store value that may come and go, you should use optional. When you need to store a value that may come and go. Oh, hence the optional. So I might get it back. I might get no value back. I see. Okay. Let me just grab that little hot dog right there. Okay, so when you see an optional in code, you know that the value is impermanent. And as you will see, the compiler will force you to check for a value before trying to use it. The compiler will force you to check for a value before trying to use it. This system of purpose-built types and forced checks helps make Swift an expressive, safe language. Yeah, I mean, Swift must be just a big-ass language because, I mean, from what we've read so far, you would think that all the way down, you have this these safety features, but clearly not. I mean, that's not made its way to concurrency until we get, well, I guess technically in 5.10 it's there. You can turn it on. But yeah, whatever. Not important. Present moment. This system of purpose-built types and force checks help. Okay, we read that. Now that you have declared an optional and given it a value, log the value of the optional to the console. Okay. Print error code string. Command Shift Enter. expression implicitly coerced from string to any. Any? What the hell is this? I thought I was done seeing that shit. Why? I'm pissed. Let's hear him out. You can ignore the compiler warning that appears. You will see it again later in this book. Feeling a little depressed. Does SwiftLang have? How did I miss this? I mean, I guess on the one hand that... God damn it. Okay. I mean, obviously you don't have to use it, right? But the fact that I'm being told to just... I know that if I've ever told anybody that, ignore that for now. It just ain't. It's never good. It's always some dog and pony show, you know, to some convoluted way. Well, this is how we do it now. This is how we handle it now. But Swift 6. Nah, I'm being a naysayer. I mean, I'm legitimately surprised. I did not know this. I didn't know it had any type. I thought that was shit. The main reason I was here is Swift was often described as a... Oh wait, hold on. I'm doing the same thing that I was given prime shit for. There I go, being a hypocrite. You know what? We've not built anything yet, so I'm going to stay open-minded. And I'll just say that, if nothing else, any means that it's flexible. And we can tighten the clamp. So, and perhaps this is being addressed, maybe, I don't know. I mean, they were talking about data races, so that's not a type issue. At least not directly, but okay, so any, so interesting, and it can be an array of anything. Oh, shit. Including function types and optional types. You can just throw anything anywhere. It's a flexible way to work with non-specific types. You mean it? I'm trying not to be a naysayer, but I do want to point out what is known here, because I don't like when it's you know, whatever. Let's just... I just want to ask it one more thing, and we'll get back to the book. So, what do I want to ask it? Yeah, so why? So, okay. Make a variable an array, and it can hold any type with these elements: integer, a string, a float, and a bool. Well, honestly, just seeing that is rather nice. That is nice. I mean, hell, at the very least, if it has a better debugger, you know, and a better whatever, we're not going to harp on it. I know I keep saying that. I'm trying to get over it. I've really seen the light lately. You know, there's just no reason not to use types. Like there's no, there's not a reason to not do it. Especially with how fast languages can compile now, and the fact that most people, not all people, but most people are never ever gonna need anything near the max, you know, performance they can get out of something like Go, even. I mean, fucking Docker's written in Go. Y'all know that, right? Okay, so Go is not slow by any stretch. Come on, come on. Now, what else? Kubernetes, right? Written in Go. There's a lot of big projects written in Go. Cockroach DB. Freaking distributed deterministic sharding cloud DB written in Go. So I mean, it's a lot of things. It ain't slow. So that being said, it would not allow you to do something like this. So I'm surprised. Then again, the fact that it looks a lot like JavaScript is probably a big, in a lot of people's eyes, probably a plus. It's not my preference, but oops, sorry, knocked my own ass out. But I certainly don't mind the syntax. That was never really the problem ever, at least not in my eyes. It's all the other shit. It's the behavior you can't predict or know. You just gotta we'll fix it in live. Do it live. Just gotta run it. Truly though, I mean, are you testing? Like, how does it get to prod? Anyway, all right. So, okay, we're over it. We're done. So we're gonna ignore the error, and we just know now that that is a possibility. I'll cry off stream later. And she's still there. When you see an optional code, you know what the value is. Okay, we did that. Print. Yep. Log in the value of error code string. Down at the bottom, optional 404. Where did it go? Okay. Logging the value of error code string to the console shows optional 404. What would happen? What would happen if you did not give error code string a value? Try it. Okay. Comment out the line assigning a value to. Remember, you can use the keyboard shortcut. Oh, I'm a dummy. Hey, okay. Pow. Command Shift Enter. Nil. Because we create an optional string type. Print. Oh, duh. So because it's either the value or nil, and then we can handle that. Yep. Checking the console, you will see that it has logged the value nil. Yep. And as you work through this chapter, you might find it helpful to comment this line out periodically so that you can see how variables with a nil value behave. Just be sure to uncomment the line before moving forward. All right. Okay, yeah. Where's my tab? But if damn it. I just need like a giant magnifying glass. That would be the tits. Alright. Okay, it is struck out. Get rid of that too. BD. I had to insert if error code string. Oops. Damn it. 1. Is not nil. Then let the error equal error code string. Oops. Why can't I hit that button? Is that supposed to use my... Oh, I see. Okay. Print the error. Okay, Command Shift Enter. Nothing. If it's not nil, if error code string is not nil, then let the error equal the error code string. Let the error equal why the exclamation point? You can compare an optional value to nil to determine whether it contains a value. Oh, I skipped. For example, let's say the operation. Okay. On its own, login nil to the console is not very helpful. As a developer, you will often want to know when your variables are nil so you can execute code based on whether there is a value. Yep. In those circumstances, you can use a conditional to check whether a variable's value is nil. For example, let's say that if some operation generated an error, you would want to assign that error to a new variable and log it to the console. Yes, I would. Add the following code to your playground. Okay. I did that. I already did that. You can compare an optional value to nil to determine whether it contains a value. And here you set up a conditional with code that executes if error code string is not nil. If error code string is not nil. Exclamation equal sign is logical not. So if error code string is logically not nil, then do that thing inside the squigglies. Okay, so if it's not nil, if it's not nil, it's not equal to nil. If it's not nil, I mean, clearly it returns nil, but this stuff always, the logic will not, if I stare at them too long, you know, it's just better to just, I know they're there and it works and I understand it. But if I stare at it, I'll try to reason about it and it doesn't work. You can compare an optional value to nil. Yep, is right. Oh, so in the first line, in line 6, you're saying that's where I do it? Okay. Yeah, I'm really struggling with that. I'm not sure why. In the body of the conditional, you create a new constant called the error to hold the value of error code string. To do this, you append girl. Crazy. No. In the body of the conditional, you create a new constant called the error to hold the value of error code string. To do this, you append an exclamation mark to error code string. The exclamation mark here does what is called forced unwrapping. Oh, so it's okay. What's it wrapped in? Forced unwrapping. I've never heard of that, so I better highlight that. Yes. Forced unwrapping accesses the value stored inside the optional. Okay. Which allows you to grab 404 and assign it to the constant, the error. Oh. If it had a value. Okay, so I take it that if I remove this question mark, the compiler will no longer know that this is an optional, because I'll literally be telling it it's just a regular old string. Therefore, this exclamation point on line 7 at the end will be rendered invalid, and I will get a compiler error. Ooh-yah. Man, well, you just can't teach talent. You know what I'm saying? Now, let's move on. So, okay. Well, I thought I might have something better beyond that, but nope, that's all I got. Okay, so forced unwrapping accesses the value stored inside the optional, which allows you to grab 404. Okay, I get that. I get that. I actually understand that. Why that unwraps, I have no idea, but I get what it's doing. I get where it's coming from, at least. Assign it to the constant error. It is called forced unwrapping because it tries to access the underlying value, whether or not there is actually a value there at all. What is it? That is the exclamation point. That's the it. I guess we can look at it as the it. That is the exclamation point. Assumes there is a value. Okay. Assumes there is a value. I just hope that's contained to optionals. Otherwise, it'd be confusing as fuck. Which allows you to... Okay, it assumes there is a value even if there isn't. And if there isn't, like before, then it'll just give you nil back. Nil. There can be danger in forced unwrapping. Oh. If there is no value inside the optional, your program will trap at runtime. It'll crash. It'll trap. Yeah, your app's gonna crash. And in this case, you check to make sure that error code string is not nil. So force unwrapping it is not dangerous. Nonetheless, we suggest that you use a forced unwrapping cautiously and sparingly. Yeah. I don't know. I've never liked, again, like I harken back to so much of my teaching moments. Like, I actually enjoyed teaching. I did. That's why I'm doing this. Even though, I mean, I don't look at y'all because I would be distracted, and I need to learn this shit too. Otherwise, nobody wins. But well, we'll get closer. Just, you know, we gotta get to know each other a little bit. Just gotta stare at me a little bit longer. But I lost my train of thought. What was I saying? Son of a gun. And be oh yeah. This part. So how much you want to bet that we see this everywhere, like in real life code? Like if we go look at some repos, I guarantee you that thing is everywhere. So I never, you know, when people say that, like when I would say this to somebody, say in the context of SQL, or even like a config or something, you know, some kind of admin feature. You want to convey its usefulness, but at the same time, from the perspective of a teacher, you want to convey the kind of far-reaching or maybe cascading or both types of effects that, you know, that function or that feature can elicit. So I get it, but I don't like that. But it's a book for beginners, so I get that, and I am a Swift beginner. But I'm just saying, I know what that means, and what it really means is you're gonna see this everywhere. But when we stand on our soapbox and talk about like clean code and all that shit, we should say, oh yes, no, you certainly don't want to throw around forced unwrappers. Oh yeah. So we all get in a circle and talk about how safe our code is. I get it. I got you, brother. I'm just saying. Finally, you log this new constant's value to the console. What would have happened if you had not unwrapped error code's strings value, but simply assigned the optional? Had not unwrapped simply. Oh. Yeah, you get that motherfucking error again. And it's still nil. Oh, duh, but we didn't have this here. If I didn't change it, did I? If error code, that's the same. Oh, they did. They uncommented. Okay, yeah. Okay. What would happen if you had not unwrapped? Okay, so don't unwrap, but give it the value. We saw that, right? It still gave me an optional, yeah. Optional 404. So I don't get the actual value, I just get the thing, the object, the... Weird. That's weird. What am I gonna do with that? The value of the error would still have been logged to the console correctly. So why unwrap? What? No, it wasn't. What are you talking about? Or was it? Oh, duh, I'm looking at it. Optional 404. Okay. Okay. Maybe if you wanted to send that to a log, I don't know. Well, I guess your code is you don't need to do that. Okay, never mind. That's stupid. Okay, so what? Tell me about it. Tell me about it. So why unwrap the optional's value and assign it to a constant? The answer requires a better understanding of the optional type. Of course it does. So my girl is coming. She's coming for me. We're going on a boat. Not really. We're gonna. I don't know where we're going, but shoot, man. And I gotta drop a deuce. I know we were all over the place today. So I apologize. However, know that I will always give it to you straight, or from the side. Depends on how you like it. But now, we will pick this back up tomorrow, and and I will solemnly swear that we will have a very productive day tomorrow. We'll make it up double time because we did a lot of investigative research today, but we also learned that more than likely, for our purposes, for where we're at in the timeline, you know, we're just starting out. Basically, this is, you know, we're a week into it, episode 7, learning Swift. We are 179 pages of 818, baby. So we got a long way to go, a lot more to work through, a lot more to learn, a lot more to grind, and just have a lot to do, right? So we're gonna keep going. We'll pick up the pace. I swear it to you. I swear it to myself. I don't want to dilly-dally too much. I don't want to rush it. The whole point is to have fun with it, but at the same time, we're trying to get shit done. I understand that. I feel that energy. Trust me, I know. We're gonna get there. Just relax. Okay? Don't be an oily nerd, y'all. You know, don't just relax. Okay. Now, catch me tonight. I'll be on tonight. Yeah, if you like Halo, again, Nico X Gameplays. That is my on YouTube. So I'm streaming 100 days of game. Yeah. That's my YouTube channel for gaming. So from 9 p.m. to roughly 11 p.m., somewhere in that time frame, within 30 minutes, I start and stop at that time, Central Time. So 9 p.m. to 11, 100 days of ranked Halo, get my skills back, and I don't know, I'm really enjoying it. I certainly did. I missed Halo, yeah. So I'm trying to get my shit back, and I don't know. I just didn't want to play these other games. I don't like them. I don't like the new games. They're dookie and they're very expensive. And you got to be online for what? Why I got to be online? Just run around a field? I need an internet connection. Why? Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. If you stuck it through with me, if you stuck it, whatever. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay, y'all take care. Actually, I'll see y'all tonight on the Halo stream. Otherwise, see you tomorrow for episode 8. Peace, love.